Hi, my name is Chris Ryan and welcome to Las Colinas Golf Resort here in Spain. And welcome to this final video in this 4-part series helping you get rid of that slice for good. Hopefully you've watched videos 1, 2 and 3 covering the setup, the backswing and the downswing. This 4th video is really looking at some drills and some methods that you can use in practice, which is going to help start to implement all of those ideas into the golf swing and help you hit those drives straighter and longer. So welcome to video 4 in this series on how to fix your slice. Thank you for joining me here at Las Colinas Golf Resort in Spain. Hopefully you've watched videos 1, 2 and 3. If you haven't, I will link them down below. I would suggest that you watch those first because this 4th video really just continues on from those first 3. So today in this video, we're just going to be looking at some practical things that you can do in practice next time you go to the range, which can start to implement the change that we might have wanted to make based on the information we picked up in those first 3 videos. I'm guessing by now there's going to be a couple of things that you've maybe flagged up in your golf swing. You've maybe realised that that's something you need to work on. And as I say, the drills in this video are going to help you practice those things. So right back in video 1, we talked about what creates a slice, what our club path is, what our club face is. But we also said that contact points on the golf club can be hugely influential when it comes to curve on the golf ball. If you are a slicer of the golf ball and your strike is not central, there is a chance it's going to be towards the inside of the golf club. We really need to test that and we really need to start to work towards a more centered strike. So here's what you need. You will need some sort of way of testing that strike. Now you can use face tape. You may well have seen the bits of tape that you can place on a club face. Even the drivers these days, I've got this new one from TaylorMade, this M3. The face is actually pretty dark. It's like a black finish. Every time I hit a shot, I can actually see where the golf club struck. If you haven't got either of those, you can buy this stuff. This is absolutely fantastic. This is foot spray. Every golf professional out there will know exactly what this stuff is, and most golf professionals I know carry this stuff with them. I've always got a can of this wherever I go. What you simply do is you will simply just spray the club face and put a slight covering of powder on that driver face. You hit a shot and it will tell you exactly where that golf ball made contact with the club face. You can do that a couple of times. You can start to see whether you've got any patterns. The great thing with this stuff, it just wipes off and you can do it again. Just on a side note, this also does work for your irons, your wedges, whatever it may be. So make sure you pick up some of this foot spray, make sure you monitor your strike and see whether you are heel side or maybe even more central. That would be ideal. So what would you do if you find that your contact point is towards the heel or certainly not central? Well, the first thing you do is actually just try and hit the center. It sounds very, very simple and very, very obvious, but that is the first thing I would ask a golfer to do. What I tend to see as a general trend is the golfers who are hitting the heel often don't know they're hitting the heel, so they're never going to change that. As soon as you put the face spray on, they start to see that contact point towards the heel. They can just make some what we call little micro moves that they don't really understand what they're doing, but they just make the desired changes and they start to be able to hit the middle a little bit more often. So the first thing we get you to do is actually just try and hit the middle. If you find that you're struggling to do that, we can start to use some little guides. So what I might want you to do is actually feel like I set myself up like this. So I've got a T-peg which is just about 2 to 3 inches inside my golf ball. Now if I set myself up from the center and I hit the heel, I will hit the golf ball, but I will miss the T-peg on the inside. The idea here will be to try and get you to feel like you're going to clear out both the ball and the T-peg. And you can see to do that, my contact point would come more towards the toe. So little drills where you can actually just give yourself a slightly different focus down at impact, trying to maybe, you know, get that golf club to get delivered a little bit more closer to you, starting to strike more towards the toe, maybe trying to hit something that's just inside the ball. These are great little exercises that you can do in practice to try and get that strike to change. The best golfers in the world that I see can actually control strikes. So they could hit high, low, toe, heel, centre, whatever it may be. That's a great skill to try and work towards. So yes, we want to hit the middle, but maybe just practice hitting all different parts of the club face, because if you can do that, you can definitely hone in on the middle. So tip number 1 or drill number 1 is to use some face spray or some tape. Make sure you're hitting from the center of the golf club. So this second little practice station is really going to help you with the delivery in terms of the shaft angle. And this can definitely relate to the path of the golf club. The angle of the club shaft on the way down doesn't directly relate to the path, but it can have an influence. You'll notice I've got an alignment stick placed in the ground just to the right hand side of my golf ball. And when I take my setup to this ball, a typical slicer would find that in that transition, as they steepen the club shaft, they would be absolutely nowhere near this alignment stick, but they would be missing it on the outside. A great little rehearsal for you would be whilst you try and maintain some good body shape. If you remember in that video we talked about not changing the body shape to shadow the golf club, I want you to feel that you can move the golf club away. Notice how my club and club shaft pass above the alignment stick. I then work all the way up to the top and I use my trail shoulder and my rotations and my side bend to deliver that golf club more from the inside. Notice how I said I use my trail shoulder and my side bend. I did not use early extension. I did not simply just pull my arms down behind me. I used my trail shoulder rotations and I used my side bend to ensure that golf club got delivered from in here. Once I feel like I can get it underneath here, I can then just go ahead and feel like I swing and release through up to a finish. Now, some people can hit shots this way. I would advise doing it just as I've done there, very, very slow, because very often when there's something over here, you can get quite aware of it. I certainly don't want any broken clubs, any pierced arms on alignment sticks. So I would just use this as a great drill to get the feel of what you're trying to do from the top. So I would get you to do it a little bit more like I've just done here. So a rehearsal all the way up to the top, right shoulder rotation or trail shoulder rotation, use the side bends, and then we can start to feel that we deliver the golf club a little bit more from the inside. When you do that, you will probably feel how your path is a lot more out to the right of the target. Provided we have got the club face under control, which I'm sure we have by now, having watched all the 4 videos, we should be able to get that ball started in a better place and curving in a better place. Ultimately, what you can actually do is I would take this alignment stick and leave it in the ground, but move it maybe a few feet further back so that when I set myself up to this next shot, it's in my eye line. Let's just get it in the ground. It's in my eye line, so I can still work on the same ideas, but it's not going to physically get in my way. I can then go ahead and hit some full shots, still trying to feel that same thing. So that's a great little exercise to help you feel like a shallowing club shaft, but just be aware, make sure you shallow it with your trail shoulder and your side bend, as opposed to any excess body movement that we want to try and avoid. Now, for this final little exercise, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to need something you can place outside the golf ball. A head cover is perfect. Just make sure it's got no zips or any metal bits on it, because we may well find we do hit it in practice. So a head cover is ideal, and then a T-peg, which we're going to use in the golf club. Let me show you exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to place this head cover just outside of the golf ball, to the point where as I take my starting position, I could deliver my club to the golf ball with a very neutral path without hitting the head cover. I can deliver my club with an in to out path without hitting the head cover, but an out to in path would cause me to make contact with that cover. That's our first part of the drill. Our second part is to use the T-peg that we spoke about earlier and place it inside of my glove. So this was the little drill that we looked at in one of the previous videos. Now, again, I'm going to pick my target out on the range, or in this case it's the 18th hole, and for me it's the middle of the fairway. And I want you to use these 2 little drills together, and I want you to hit this golf ball as far to the left of that target as you can. That is your only goal. We are not trying to hit this ball straight. And that's a really key point to this drill. We're trying to disassociate this from what would be a normal swing. We're not trying to hit target here. We're trying to hit this ball as far left as we can. Now, there's really 2 ways that I can hit this ball left. I can move my path to the left, but I can't in this drill because the head cover's in the way. So the only other way that I can hit this ball left is to have a fairly neutral path, but actually close the club face. That is exactly what we're trying to get you to do in this drill. We're trying to get you to feel what it would be like to have a different relationship with the path and the face at impact. The chronic slices of the golf ball will have a face which is open to the path. This drill, this little exercise is trying to change that pattern. So what would I do? I would use the T-peg, and I would feel that the T-peg is twisting to the ground, and I feel like I use my other little drills that I've done to ensure that I miss that head cover. So missing the head cover is through my path. The club face being closed is through the T-peg. I should be able to hit this ball excessively left. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to do this very much over a short distance, but let's see if we can do that. There we go. So you can see that ball very low, curve right to left. And again, that's not at my target. It's not a perfect shot, but I'm not looking to hit a perfect shot at this stage. The practice drills that I do is really me trying to establish what I need to do to change that relationship. That relationship between the path and the face is key, and changing it is key if we're to look at taking that slice and turning it into a straighter shot or a little bit of a draw. So the final thing to note would be everything that we've covered in this video series is going to take time. It's going to take practice. It's going to take, unfortunately, some hours at the driving range or the practice facility that you use. It can never come just like that, I'm afraid. But if we can start to control the face, we can control the path, we will absolutely be able to hit straighter shots and get rid of that slice forever. So let me hit the last shot down the 18th here at Las Colinas. We're going to have a little wrap up and then we're going to finish this video series. And hopefully all of you slicers out there are going to end up hitting beautiful little draws and your handicaps are going to come tumbling down. And again, I'll be absolutely happy with that. Up the right, turning back, strike felt pretty good. Nice little draw, and I'm sure that'll be where you can get yourself to going forwards. So let's look at the things that we've covered. Make sure we go through the process. As I said right at the start, do not change everything that we've covered in this video series. Just look at these things. Maybe try and look at your golf swing and maybe just make a list of the things that you do correct. Maybe some of the things that you think, I could maybe work on that, and we can start to tackle those things. Link everything back to club face, club path and strike, because effectively those are the only things we're trying to change. Everything we've done is just to preempt those things and influence those things. So I really hope you enjoyed this video series. I hope there is something in there which is helpful to you. I really hope that if you were a slicer of the golf ball, you can take away some of that slice, you can hit some straighter shots, more fairways. It makes the game more enjoyable, and ultimately that's all we're trying to do, is just have more fun and enjoy our time out on the golf course a little bit more. Thank you very much for watching. Absolute huge thank you to Las Colinas Golf Course. As I'm sure you can agree, the course looks fantastic. I've been very lucky to spend a few days here shooting some video, hopefully helping you play some better golf. Usual stuff, as always, is down below. There's a comments box down there, there's a like button, and there's also a link to subscribe over here. Would love to have you a free subscriber of my channel. Also, let me know if you do like these video series. Would you like to see more of these? I do plan to do one each month, which is going to be about 3, 4, maybe 5 videos long. Just enables me to go into a little bit more depth on a certain topic and pass some better information over to you. Thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you back here again soon.